Hi, my name is TaymiB. I'm an on-air personality at 96.9 Cool FM, where I host the late morning show. I'm at Clout Studios in Lagos today with my friend and
Host,
co-disturber. We're
or
always destroying
co
things.
troubleshooter or
Yes.
co troublemaker, right? I'm Do2dtun, energy guy number one, hype man OEP, and troubleshooter.
Yes. Today we're talking about radio and the part radio has played in breaking stars, musicians, most importantly. And it's actually very interesting. I think it's a very interesting conversation. I think that a lot can be said about it. But first, I'm really curious. Who do you think is the first big star like radio created? Who would you say in the Nigerian music industry?
Nigerian.
Yeah.
You know, I used to know a guy called Steve the Sleek Cattery. I'm sure a lot of guys probably wouldn't know who that is, but he had one of the best voices on radio. He was a guy who he used to do a show. He used to do a lot of social commentary where there's a hit song. You're talking about what's going.
Yeah.
You talk around the song and you can always bant and play. He plays new music, talk about stuff, the fun and entertainment. So, but I mean, he passed, and I think that was one of the biggest guys then. And he kicked off in a radio station at that time called. He's in Ray Power. He was in Ray Power. Ray Power was at that time one of the first radio stations that they were very urban. You know, then you hear Ray Power.
Yeah.
And then we've never heard anything like that. We used to AM radios. Like shout out to the likes of Frank Odigbu, that you probably hear before they speak, and you can hear a lot of noise anyway. So, but there are other guys. But I'll tell you, mainstream radio, the guy who opened the doors, two guys, is Dan Foster and Olisa.
So in terms of, I mean, like artists that radio broke, that you think
Broke.
that
Tons.
radio broke, the
Tons.
first major one you can
Tons.
remember, who
The
would you
first
say it is?
guy then I can remember that radio broke. I can tell you, I mean, top of my head, Star Plus.
Yeah.
Star Plus radio broke them. I can remember Olu Maintain. No, not even Olu Maintain. Maintain
Yeah.
radio. Two Face radio. Tony Tetwila radio. Tetwila at that time was even based on the fact, apart from the time we had remedies, Tony Tetwila came when it was like the guy everybody just pitied at that time.
Yeah.
So it was the first time when you heard somebody broke up, then you not say, Kilo Shiwaito, Kilo Shimbo, what did
Yeah.
they do to that guy?
Yeah.
He was one of the first guys then. Two Face was one of them too. Plantation Boys that left that group. Because what I'm trying to connect is radio always had a way of loving the underdogs.
Yeah.
Tony Tetwila was in a group called Remedies,
Yeah.
and he felt like he was one and wanted to. So honestly, there's tons. Tony Tetwila, Two Face, and radio at that time were the first set of people that liked to pity people based on, so what happened? Why did they get away from him? I mean, why did they, it was the guy who was the list guy who could sing, why? We're going to love this guy. And I think radio was that powerful at that time. So these guys were guys that I'm sure Tony Tetwila, Two Face, I'm very sure of that. Paul Play.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised what Paul Play was saying afterwards, because the time is when it was time for you to blow up, we were all up in your business. We were always playing your tracks. Mushoriri was a popular song on radio stations at that time. But then he not said something about people don't support. Bro, I mean, that guy, Angel of My Life, all the songs broke on radio. That's
Yeah.
how powerful they were.
I would say tribesmen. I think those were the first people that, I saw that radio really had a big part in pushing them. I would say in terms of a whole scene, the Nigerian hip hop scene, radio definitely did a lot for that.
Exactly.
I'm talking about tribesmen,
Yeah.
Big Low, Two Shots.
Bah.
I mean, all those people, Sasha, all those Mode 9.
Move 9.
Mode 9.
Rough,
And
Rugged, and Raw.
all of those people. And I would say a big shout out to JAJ the Macadon. I love him so much.
My
Top
God.
7 at 7 was the
It still exists,
chart.
you know.
Yes, it was.
It's
the
still a
chart.
show that exists till now.
And like, no matter where you were, at 7 o'clock, you are listening to Top 7 at
One
7.
day we gonna
And
get.
it's like,
You know, there's a
shit,
popular
AJ
thing
the
then when he
Macadon.
starts.
And I think he put all those people on the map. Mode 9,
Nah.
all those people on the map.
Overdose.
Yeah.
Terry the Rap Man, Kale. He put all those people on. And the truth is, I think it was through radio. A lot of people started to love hip hop music.
Yeah.
Mode 9 was always on. He had a popular song called Cry. He had a popular song at that time called
Elbow
Nigeria
Room.
Girl, Elbow Room.
Yeah.
And I can remember Cry was on the chart for over 13 weeks.
Yeah.
It was 12 years because then I used to collect the charts for Lisa for the Yellow Top 10. And, that was the only chart. That was the only, now we have a lot of radio charts. That was the only radio chart that was really popular here in Nigeria that was going to 13 states. And Muna was on it for over 12 to 13 weeks, back to back, because the song was really powerful and strong. So, but these guys don't know these things. And that's how they got into what we call TaymiB. Nigeria. You heard about, then we had a bridge of trying to get music outside Nigeria. The first way we could do it was through likes of this guy called Tom Rounds, who started the Pop Express, Urban Express. I think one of the first guys I ever got into it was Oleku.
Yeah.
And then there on the CD, he had lyrics. That means he had some curse words in it, so we had to even get the radio edit from him at that time. But those guys, it was radio that influenced that relationship from those times. So I'll be honest, Tribesmen, guaranteed.
Tribesmen.
That was actually one of the best collaborations we ever had on radio.
Yeah. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. It was a very exciting time. And I will say, like, radio definitely pushed the Nigerian music scene because back in the day, there wasn't a lot of Nigerian music on radio anyway, actually. In clubs and bars, it was mostly foreign music. It was mostly R&B and hip hop. So you hear Mariah Carey, you hear Mace, you hear Momo Nemo Problems, you hear all those people.
Yeah.
But you hardly hear Nigerian music. And slowly, as more honest personalities started to play the music, it became better. It became cooler. And all of a sudden, if you compare back when we were younger listening to radio and now, there's more Nigerian music than there is foreign music.
I agree, because then there was that bit of monopoly. Is almost like to get to know an OEP, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if not for the fact that some of us still try as much as possible to put ourselves out there, we've grown a brand that's pretty strong, then still now we still call the shots. But then it was just a monopoly. Almost that we didn't have a lot of radio stations. We didn't have a lot of OEPs, and we had a few powerful ones that wants to break your song. It's a big deal, So to be honest, like I said, even the times where there was a time, and honestly, shout out to everybody in Ajigule, their songs blew up in the streets at that time.
Yeah.
But I think one of the guys that actually got into mainstream radio, where the songs now get on power plays, the first time they hear it, they call it contour music then.
Yeah.
It's people like Marvelous Benji.
Yeah, African China.
African China.
Yeah.
African China started, the kind of music started to look cool in everywhere. Every bars, you'd be shocked that you can hear his music. Sometimes you even travel, you're in London, you're in a store, and you can hear his music. It was that deep, but it was the thing that was what radio already created, and it made it feel like, it's not a big deal. This song is for everyone. And now it was more relatable because we're also going through a lot of tough times as well.
Yeah.
African China, and then, popularly, you would hear a popular Jiggle song, and you would never hear it to the end or you never have to hear it until you hear the moves or you watch the video. You cannot wait for the video. And I'm talking about not just Marvelous Benji. The first guy, one of the first guys, is Daddy Shoki.
Yeah.
Daddy Shoki, Dinah. That was a hit. So that's what radio also did. Just took people even from the grassroots, the local music, and put it on into the mainstream, and it was big. It's big.
Yeah. One thing that makes radio is the honor personalities, and because sometimes
They're mad.
I saw something somewhere where an OAP was complaining and saying, why can't you shout out your fellow OAPs on air, whatever. I think we try, but sometimes you work for a company. At the end of the day, you can't take the piss. But
we're all friends.
Yeah, we're all friends.
That's the thing they need to understand, that we're all friends. But sometimes, and I want to be honest with you, TaymiB, most of these guys, radio stations, and shout out to everybody who owns radio stations, they are the big problems because they're the ones who fight themselves. They're the ones who never get along. Then you expect us to be at loggerheads with another radio station. Yes, we can compete. There's no way we're not friends.
Yeah.
But the biggest issue is radio station owners and media houses are not friends. So it's not even about us. Now, again on radio, I don't want to shout at somebody in another radio station. I don't want to shout at somebody in beat. Somebody in beat doesn't want to shout out to me, but we're friends.
Yeah.
But it's just that at the end of the day, it's because of the people who work for. Do you get what I'm saying? So
And what I was even trying to say is now we actually have the opportunity to give a shout out to some of the honest personalities that made me personally, and I'm sure you as well, fall in love with music and Nigerian music. And a lot of honest personalities back in the day that put a lot of new music on. It's like Dari Atalade was one of the OEPs you listened to back then to hear new music.
Yeah.
And I remember he would always play his own song, Young Man.
Young Man.
Tell me where did you get your skills from? So Dari definitely used to put music. Chemistry.
93.7.
Yes. That's somebody.
That was one of the realest shit on radio, man.
That's somebody who used to put people on.
Chemistry, man.
I remember she even did a song with Terry G.
Yeah,
back then.
and that was a hit. That's actually one of the best rappers we had. Female rappers, that Chemistry. Real.
Yeah. So what about you? Who would you pick?
Radio, I would give it up. Number one guy is Olisa.
Yeah.
Honestly, all the biggest stars I saw in my entire life was through Olisa. I've seen P Square walking. I mean, they look like hungry chickens, and I'm not even going to disrespect tons of them.
Yeah.
Shout out to Olumentane. He was still short and very skinny as well. This guys, I saw them maintain all of that. I saw these guys because they always come. Olisa is the shit. So you can imagine, and it was the guy that when he breaks your song, it's no doubt about it. Everybody walked in through that door. Two-Face, tons that I've seen through when they walked through. So Olisa was known for breaking new music, Nigerian songs. So, I could call names. Daddy Shoki, Asha, was through Olisa. And Danny was on Storm Records. He had a record label where he was an executive of Storm Records. So Jimmy Jazz, Dario, all on it. GT the Guitar Man. Everybody you think, all of us were all hungry-looking people. I saw them with Olisa.
Yeah.
So I give credit to Olisa any goddamn day. Shout out to Dan Foster.
Yeah.
Dan is the one that laid that radio style.
Yeah.
Everything you listen to right now, it was Dan Foster that laid it out for everyone. So, but Dan too was very known of putting a lot of gospel music on radio.
Yeah.
Shout out to he put people like of Infinity, people likes of
Midnight Crew.
Yeah. Diary 2 put a lot of Tonzo, not even the new guys from day one.
Yeah, Dario was really good at that.
Dan Foster. He used to put a lot of gospel music on radio. Then they used to restrict it to Sunday shows, but Dan will play you a gospel song
during the week.
On prime time.
Kirk Franklin, all of that.
Yeah. So those guys, shout out to JJ.
JJ the Macedonian.
Yeah, top 7 to 7.
I would say that even I can't talk about OAPs without talking about IK, Wild Child. He's absolutely phenomenal.
Big boom boom.
I can't talk.
Thompson.
Shola Thompson is a legend in my eyes.
Listen.
Like if he sees this, I love him so much. I think he's so talented.
I'm trying to not to give him credit, but you know what? It's because he's my G.
Yeah.
And we're almost pairs. But honestly, that's the guy I go back on every night.
Yeah.
Shola had the best voice. Listen, on radio, that guy had the best night voice ever.
Of all time.
I know nobody rocks it.
Nobody has broken that rhythm of the night.
It was the best.
It was the best.
Do you know people always prefer him to talk than play music?
Yep.
Shola was that guy. I want I was beefing the guys. You guys was bad.
Yeah.
So
But then he put a lot of R&B music on. Like there was a lot of R&B music on that
Style
show.
Plus, you need to give credit to those guys.
Yeah.
Style Plus need to give credit to those guys. People like Clench, you need to give credit to those guys. Slam, you need to give credit to those guys because for some reason that's how your song go on the radio. Because then when people do R&B, it was very Banky W. All these guys go on radio because Banky first CD then was I think it was a song Don't Forget Me. I can't remember. It was a green cover, and the front one he had a cap on, the back he had no cap on. You know, and before he came to Nigeria, they Bute Meta. But those times where those way they, that's how they got into the music scene because we could take their songs and play on radio. And people like this, Shola Thompson. Then, if Shola Thompson you break your song, an R&B song on radio is a hit. So we have tons of them. Another guy is it G? I don't know if you I'm trying to GMC. Is it GMC? I think I'll try to get his name. But there were top guys who were really dope at that. But on the night show, he still holds that record.
Yeah.
Still holds that record.
100%. I'm sure he's responsible for lots of babies.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure he's responsible for lots of babies.
he comes on, I think, around 9 or 10, and the thing is, damn, radio sweet.
Yeah.
No, these guys would come, talk. Now, then you want to hear people talk. Now, I mean, if you want to be on the stage, we hear a lot of garbage on radio. I mean, sometimes I listen to radio and I just tune off. I just change. Some people should never be on radio. I'm not, no disrespect, but then for everybody to get a record, I mean, get a deal like that. Like, for example, now I know how many times before you go your own break, you were in Nigerian Info, did a night show, whether your daytime. Then this time around is almost based on the fact that you have a good voice. People don't train anymore. And I think that's why I have a problem. But then, you know, it was powerful for somebody to speak and say, this song is a record. It's a hit record, and everybody goes to look for it. That's when they're respected about them. Then, because J.J. 77, he's still 7. Till date. You know how many years that has been on radio? Before I even got on radio, that show started. So he has been on radio since then, till date. And 7 is still 7. Once he's 7, he's at 7. Just listen to him. That's it. Same voice, same energy, same kind of music, same everything. It's not easy, man.
It's not easy. Now, we know this about radio.
Yeah.
You know, we work on radio. We love radio. It's something that I've wanted to do since I was a child. And I'm really grateful every day that I have the opportunity to do it. And it's so special to me. But a lot of people have now rubbished radio. A lot of people just don't think it is that important. So fast forward now to 2020. How important do you think it is, radio, in an artist, in terms of promotion for an artist? So I'm an artist, I'm bringing out music. How important do you think radio still is today?
I mean, to be honest, first of all, I always want to come to this conversation because, and I think I want to say this clearly, I'm not part of the people that believe that, first of all, radio is the numbers. Not everybody. Now, that's what we're mistaken right now is, let's look at a setting number. Let me use Nigeria as a yardstick. The people who have radio or have access to radio are more than people who can go and download apps on their phones. Now, all that thing gives you is now, right? Everything is digitally, everything's digitally aligned now. It's the next crude oil, yeah. But I mean, in Nigeria, we're still a third world country. Let's be honest. Not everybody has the chance to go and download an app and probably bring out music. Well, people do it now. Shout out to some apps now that people can always do. But the truth is, you can put on your car. It's on. You can have a transistor radio, it's on. You have your phone, even so small. These days you have the smallest phones, there's a radio on it. So that's when people say that it's your. If David Doe can see push his music on radio till now, you can understand the power of radio, especially in Nigeria. We don't get the numbers. The numbers are way more because not everybody have access to their phones. Not everybody will have access to these apps where you can go on and download. Especially in Nigeria, Nigerians don't buy music. Let's call it spade a spade. If we use the statistics of people who go and stream music, we don't stream music. We don't buy music as anybody in any part of the world. We're still a third world country, and that's why we're still there. And because now, let me give an typical example. You drive in traffic, yeah. It's every time you want to power. A typical downfall, they're always on radio. Especially you want to put a cassette in there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So a typical downfall, if you right now you almost still listen to Wazobia FM. Or you listen to Niger FM, or you listen to Cool FM, or you listen to Radium or Beats, any radio station, or you listen to Sound City Radio, whatever it is. But I feel like, TaymiB, for me, the honesty is, it's just, we get clouded by what's going on. If things were all being equal, truthfully, maybe we should talk about radio going into extinction. But I don't see that happening. And in every part of the world, even the ones who are still powerful enough, they still have radio stations that are still very powerful, whether you like it or not. So look at the likes of Tim Westwood. All the biggest guys that broke their songs, or the biggest stars you see from Snoop Dogg to the biggest guys, they broke it on radio. Even why is it that many Nigerians leave here and still go and still sit with Ebro? Why do they still leave here and still go and sit with they want to be on Capital Extra? Why do they still really say and still want to talk to TaymiB? It is part of your core. It still grows the business. The only problem I have is, and I think I want to talk about the other part, is radio stations, yeah, they're getting bigger. The problem is not every OAP gets big, because for some reason they're working for peanuts, or for some reason they're just working and they're not getting anything they work for in return. Yeah. That's the thing. Radio OAPs, DJs and radio stations don't have as much, and it's almost like it's different with us. I can brag about where I work, because honestly, like I said, it's different with everybody, but it's almost like a host of parasite. And that's why you now see that it gets to a point, an OAP you cannot afford to buy a car of their own, live in their own apartment, they cannot chill with themselves. There is no way they will not fall to the hands of somebody who can either pay their bills or someone who is bigger. Now, you want people to work for the passion. What happens and that's what is happening, because now every artist now feels they're bigger than, so it's almost like they don't need you, you need them. I mean, I don't fall in that category, because I just feel like, you know what, if you're not coming to me, fine. You might be big, you blow up, cool, but it's different with me. But what happens is the fact that at the end of the day, I can tell you for a fact, Daniel, Lisa's, and the Dan, everybody, they had their own. They made money from radio. Now it's different now. So people just look at it now. It's going to a point that a lot of musicians now don't respect OEPs because they know you can pay your bills. You won't come to me if you think you can pay my bill. You would think about it before you come to me. That's the difference. And I think that's where the problem is.
Yeah. It's a big perception problem. I think that, especially in this industry, a lot of people think that Lagos is Nigeria. But Lagos is not Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm a Lagosian.
You're not Lagos.
TaymiB.
That's like
until my governor calls me.
God,
shout out to Ondo State Governor. He's sharing Ludo. He hasn't given me mine, though.
There.
I
am
had to
from
go
Lagos.
there.
I just want to say.
Shout out to you. I'm a Lagosian.
So call me.
For now, actually.
So I think that's the issue. A lot of people, they have this perception, and perception is never reality. It's never just the way it is. You still need radio. Radio is very important. Even when it comes to elections, they still come on radio. They spend more money on radio than online. Yeah. It's just what the case is now. But you're right. There's no respect. The OAP is not respected. The presenter is not respected at all. At all. I mean, at all. And it's
not them. TaymiB, it's good. Let's be clearing that. Not them.
Yes. And it's really sad.
And I don't blame those, because TaymiB, you will at some point, when you don't get good, you're working and your money is shit. You will be at some point. You want a big bread. You have to leave. I can tell you for a fact, if all these guys are big and you get really good pay, everybody's going on fine, you will not be able to sell your birthright. Trust me. But that's it. TaymiB, let's call it spirit. All these things. It's just that I don't want to be saying it. I'm on a show that I can say what I want to say.
Of course.
Of
course. Let's talk about the artists that have benefited from radio, that have blown because of radio in present day. Let's say past.
You know what?
5 years.
You asked the question because you know something. So you tell us first.
I know something.
No, you know. Tell me, you will know top of your head.
Top of my head, Omale. Omale, top of my head, Omale.
No, you not even go and say it's nothing. My foolish.
Omale has definitely benefited from radio. I would say currently Olakira in my Maserati.
Yeah.
Adebo Hustlers. They haven't blown, but they're pretty much on their way, because every radio station you tune into, they're there. And that's literally what it is. I think radio is a marketing tool for artists to keep you top of mind.
Exactly.
It's literally,
I can call names. Fireboy.
Joe
Boy.
All the boys.
All the boys.
Adetola Gold is a perfect example.
Exactly.
And I feel like we had a huge part to play. I'm going to say, I don't give a shit. We had huge part to play. We were the first people to play Adekunle
The Gold's
Gold.
reggae. Johnny Drill.
Johnny Drill. We were the first people to play Johnny Drill.
Johnny Drill.
Olamide, when he came back with, first of all,
Exactly.
we played that. Kokoma, K9. We played that music.
Even Olamide's case, it was even from the day he was that's with Adi Kabasa, and his management was, I still have a picture of that. That's Olamide and Adol. They were with Tony Payne at that time. Tony Payne was the manager. That's how far back, we broke that song then. Tons of them. Adekunle Gold was working down the road.
Yeah.
He used to work in an office on down the road in Victoria Island, and that was when he met me, and I brought the song. I told you, TaymiB, this song is hot. But then his name was The Bridge.
Yeah.
A lot
Played
of people
that
don't
song as The Bridge. If you check on the system,
It's there,
it's still there
it's
as The Bridge.
Yeah. But the only good thing about it is people like Adekunle Gold acknowledges. That's why I like him. He comes back. Niniola.
Niniola.
That's why she
I
named
can
her
never-
show The Radio.
I can never forget
A concert.
the first time she came in. And it's crazy. We've seen all of them.
Tons.
They've all come through.
Tons.
We've seen all of them.
Tons.
We've seen them at their highest.
Tons.
We've seen them at their
Tons.
lowest. We've seen a
Tons.
lot of people come and go,
yeah.
and we're still here.
Let's stay here. So
But definitely, radio had a big part, even in street music. I mean, we would hear street music, and bring it in.
Orisha Femi.
Small Doctor, first radio, Slim Case. Slim Case will tell you till today that his first radio
You
interview.
remember Small Dog interview that he cried on the radio? You remember that thing? Yeah. He
Small
cried on the
Doctor.
radio.
And then it was so weird to play that kind of music on an urban radio station. But sometimes you believe in these people. Falabi Noel, the gospel artist,
Oh, you see,
came on the
Noel.
Midday Oasis. So
Flow Rocker.
yeah,
There's a song called Flow Rocker, gospel song, big song, but it was actually radio. So tons. I could mention. See, top of my head, Simi even was at the station. She was an intern at Cool FM for over a year. Then when she sings, but Simi too. And those are the kind of things we embraced because we knew, this chick is a part of it. She wanted to sing. When she put out our record, Sam Clef, Noni, when we started the Noni our conversation and everything, when we did Noni, Sam Clef, Wizkid,
Runtown,
David Doe, Runtown.
Yeah.
Runtown. Tenny.
Mr. Easy. What are you talking about, Mr. Easy?
That was your guy. That's your guy.
Mr. Easy.
Yeah. We even got bashed for defending him one time, remember?
Yeah.
Because it was Easy. You were the one that were like, even brought Easy song. You brought Easy song, actually.
I think also the alter movement in general has benefited from radio, from people putting that music on and giving them a chance. Ajebota, Budge, Odunsi, Cruel Santino, Santi.
Yeah, for that one, I would give you credit. You and Kemi Smalls. Because another thing is, I love the kind of sound, alternative sound, but the kind of alternative sound I was very locked onto was likes of Brymo, Adekunle Gold, Asha, You were more into the millennials and you brought in Ajebota. I mean, for me, that's top nuts. The fact that you were on the song and they're like, oh, that's your younger brother and everything. But guess what? People didn't even know that we started playing that when you guys used to show Fro. Yeah. Before it was Ajebota.
Yeah.
And then it was not, alternative music was not even as popular at that time. It wasn't that popular. So, then the DRB, LOS.
Yes.
LOS.
LOS.
Tommy Thomas.
Yes.
That's the first time I met him. And then when I met Tommy, no dreadlocks. When I met, what's his name? What's the other guy's name? Young. Is he Young?
There's Bridge, yeah.
There's Briss or Bridge? It's Bridge.
Bridge, yeah.
And there's the other guy.
Zamir.
Yeah. Swag boy. That wouldn't lead to when I met him, so I like to talk from that end because I know that a lot of people now who are watching stuff or watch this show think, you don't know where these people started actually. Yeah. LOS, they're not, DRB has been there.
Yeah.
They've been shutting down concerts for years. So, they just, the kids just, they grew, they're still young and they started pretty early. That's why. So, and some of them just refuse to grow beards. So, anything else, but I think they show them calm.
SDC, show them calm. I think it's good we're having this conversation so people just remember that, it's not is not just by Twitter. It's really not. It's by people who love you and put you on. And
Yeah,
every single time you hear a song play on air, that's a big deal.
it is.
Because radio is money. Every single minute is money. So if
Yeah,
somebody is believing you and putting that 3 minutes, 4 minutes of their show, and they're putting that trust in you and putting that music on, it's really a big deal.
it
It's
is
a
a
big
big
deal for
deal.
us.
Ah,
They might not understand, but every minute of the show is planned. So if I am playing your music, best believe that it is a big deal. Let's talk about charts. Charts, radios, radio charts. Do you think it works? Do you think?
works. Danny used to work.
Mhm.
Yeah, because the thing is, like I said, it was different when there was a level of monopoly where you could in all like the same way you now there's a lot of charts, and now music is categorized. Now they have tons. There's the alternative charts, there's the pop charts. I mean around the world. In Nigeria, for example, we just categorize popular music. We don't really categorize music based on the same way we like for the Billboard Top 100 is for every hit song. Now, there's a Latin chart. There is the African chart. There's everything's categorized based on that. But in Nigeria, there's not one popular chart. And I think the only one that was popular then was the top 10, the yellow top 10, that people respected. But now there's a lot of charts based on people's discretion, not based on
Yeah.
the numbers, not based on statistics. Sometimes even based on the fact that the person is your friend.
100%.
Exactly. So charts for me are not as powerful as they used to be. If you're not right now, the things we respect is, for example, you hear maybe you can hear maybe the African chart, the international, you see the pop chart, you see someone like a Burna Boy on it. Now it is a big deal because these are charts that are based on numbers, that things, the parameters that they're looking at. We don't have that kind of chart here in Nigeria. You see somebody telling you, oh, this chart was number 7 and number 5, and it's the biggest song on the street. And we're thinking, no, that's not the biggest song on the street.
Yeah.
You almost want to probably slap the guy who's talking on it. But now people just do charts based on their discretion. So I don't think it's very respected here.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, Tammy.
I will say that there definitely should be a shift from charting to like playlists. So
Yeah.
at least at Cool FM, I do the other 5, and it's a playlist of 5 fresh new artists every week, and it just gives you, because I think at the end of the day, you just want to expose people to new artists and new music. So I really think playlisting is the way to go. Just create playlists. Radio stations create playlists, and just do that instead, because we know we don't have data.
Number one song is based on your guy. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's based on, you say you start with this person.
So
Some people
maybe-
can't even influence and tell you, why is my song on your chart?
Yeah,
And it doesn't
definitely.
mean it's the biggest song out there.
So maybe that is definitely a
So
way
chart, no, I don't really
a way
respect
to
that.
go.
But it's okay with putting this information out. It'd be nice, and I think everybody's responsible for that. And this comes from the fact that we all also need to, top heads and people who are music deciders, to always sit down, DJs, and be able to. We can work on building. Now, some datas and stuff are lost already. I can even tell you that some people, that musicians don't even have their own
Yeah.
database. You'd be shocked that sometimes you ask somebody for their songs. I wish you made like this and that. You know what I'm saying? They'll probably say you need it on their phones and everything. But I think the thing about it is it's good now, but I think it has made people get a lot lazier.
Yeah.
So people just want to do stuff just to have content, not because the content is authentic. And I think that's where I have a problem. So for charts, no. And I think I support playlists. And that's the future now.
Yeah.
Where people always, if you don't get in a kind of playlist, which I feel at the end of the day, sometimes it can actually be worked out based on connection or be worked out based on the fact that you already have good numbers already. So, but it's still numbers. So,
If you're gonna have a conversation, like a roundtable conversation like this, with artists and OAPs, what is that one thing you like to tell them?
one thing I like to tell them is we're friends, but you need to respect us too as well. It's not a host or parasite relationship. And now I want to say this, and I think this is the perception that a lot of popular musicians who say, oh, I give these people money and stuff like that. I mean, I can mention a lot of names. You didn't give me money. You probably gave a middleman who ate your money, which is most of the time. That's what happens every
Yeah.
time, most
Mm-hmm.
times. Now, that's another thing is, I feel like at the end of the day, everybody uses the narrative, radio, they always collect money from, and you be on tons of them, you just realize that most of them don't even say thank you. And you be, honestly, most of them will not say, you gave me this. Because the fact is, most of them got through it because we always wanted to. We are open-minded, and when it's something is good, it's good. You know, and I want to say this, even shout out to Chocolate City that we're friends. But then there was always a narrative that, we don't pay, don't give money and everything. But the truth is, one day I told MI straight up to his face that, bro, you never given me anything. And he always acknowledges it. So and I kept telling him that, but this narrative of you guys trying to fight out, the thing is, you all blew without paying a dime. Ice Prince Zamani blew without playing a dime. MI blew without playing a dime.
Yeah.
Jesse Jazz blew without playing a dime. I don't know who you paid, but you never paid me. So all of you guys are joined the bandwagon of, everybody runs under the umbrella, they collect. Yeah, maybe some people do, and I'm not going to dispute that because of the fact is, for whether you like it or not, the life is not balanced. This life is no balance. One guy is actually making the music pop. You're all getting out and, all the glam and having all the fun. But that guy, Slip the Category died of, kidney failure. And, it was under donation, it has never been a balanced relationship. Ima Ogoli as well always put people on from the days of the NBA top 10. How many people said thank you to him? But the fact is, we should always understand that let's be honest to ourselves. I want to tell them, it should not be a host or parasite relationship. Sometimes people call me up as musicians and they only come when they have a new single. It is.
Yeah.
One day I call one of them, I don't want to mention. I say, what's my kid's name? They don't even know my kid's name. But I'm the guy who remember you want to put out a single. It is selfish. And I'll be honest, it is a selfish relationship. And when I see OAPs who you now get to a point and they now become like that, some people become vile, which is very wrong. And I think what is not even good is when, because of that vile, you take it out on the younger ones. You get what I'm saying? That's where I draw the line. The thing is, we're gatekeepers. We're the ones who open the doors and you pass through it. But I think we've opened the doors so much that the bigger ones never come out. Rick Ross was dropping an album in, I think, 2017 or something. He bought cars for OEPs. I mean, these things are big deals. These are things you should put in your budgets because for some reason, whether you like it or not, they also matter. You're giving me content. That's good. And it's not something that you have to do. But also sometimes it's best. There are better ways to let people benefit from it. Rihanna, whether or not she drops music today, they still speak about good because she brought all the popular writers in magazines and took them on a trip. I'm sure you heard about that. How do you want to say something crazy about her? You get what I'm saying? If she doesn't even put out records, and that's why sometimes there are a lot of ways to do these things. You don't even have to. Sometimes you don't even have the money to do it. But sometimes it's nice when you say thank you. It's nice to say how are you doing. It's nice to check on once in a while, and that's why I like Ice Prince. When he brings us any record, he will call, he will check up how you doing. I'll be honest, I don't know what he does for you, but for me, I don't know. Yeah,
You see that's the thing.
but I can call a lot
Yeah.
of names like that. I just mentioned one person, and that's why people Adekunle Gold. That's why people don't understand why I like him because he will call you and ask you and check up on you. Adekunle Gold will see an interview of me and tell me, bro, you did it like this. Like I said, I like your interview this way, very professional. Even if he doesn't pass, he sees the good things and he still hits me up. You get what I'm saying? He's not even asking for a favor. Why must he be a host of parasite relationship? You guys don't like the fact that you think you move record. Listen, how many people do you want to play? Let's be honest. In a popular radio station, international radio stations, they pick songs. What's the strategy we're using now? We've changed the whole thing. Well, now, if you listen to Cool FM as a whole, it's an international-based standard now.
Yeah.
So that's why some artists now, they'll come now, they'll play their song, they'll play other songs. They'll be looking at you like, unlike when you come and do interview, you play your song and play all your... No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Because now somebody's tuning in and it's not like they like your music. They want to listen to other things. So as much as I'm trying to satisfy you, I'm satisfying other people. So TaymiB, the truth is, I want to tell them straight up. It's not a wholesale parasite relationship. And please, you guys, all those narratives that you guys, you joined the bandwagon and say, you paid. Some of you never paid money.
Yeah.
The fact is you guys got longer in this business because for some reason we gave you guys the chance. Now the good thing is we bake bread. The fact is you bring content, good. I'm not asking you for anything. But also, we should also have a great relationship. And the relationship comes on the fact that at the end of the day, sometimes we do a lot more. If you want me to put my name on your record, you want me to be able to say, oh, and I back it up because I'm bringing influence to you, to your craft as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking about it. Some people believe in me, some people follow me, some people love me, and they're only going to buy the music not because they like you, but because they like the song, they like TaymiB.
Yeah.
So I just want to say it's not a wholesale parasite relationship. Let everything be balanced. I mean, let's be able to be friends and respect them. Respect us, we respect you. Period.
I think that's it. You said it all. We're humans too.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes some people just send me a message, "Hey to me," I'm just like, "When is it out?" I don't say. I'm just like, when is it out? What is the name of the single? Because you're just used to that, and it's kind of sad because you see them when they're so hungry and nice, and they're like, "Good afternoon, ma," and then you see them 2 years later, and they're just like, "Oh yeah,
guy.
I don't even know who you are." I'm like, "Really? Okay, it's that way. That's your way."
Yeah.
But yes, we are human too.
And they have amnesia. They're very forgetful.
I'm not even gonna mention names, but it is what it is.
Because I like to avoid conversation because if I go in too deep, like it might not really come out well. But like I said, I mean, it's a whole parasite relationship. Shout out to you guys for giving us content as well, because that's money. Also thank us for also booking that content, and it puts money in your pocket as well. Because the thing is, we have people that would never go to even go and check out your music. They had to listen to radio first. It's on Broken Radio, Dotun and TaymiB, or whoever, Tools, or Baby, or Lisa, all spoke about this. Then you need to check it out. Cool. But it's different now. So that's why sometimes, like I said, I'm going to work hard to be able to grow myself, enough for me not to have to beg from anyone. I think that's where the issue is. And I think at the end of the day, this goes out to people who own radio stations and media houses. I mean, I heard the one that they probably didn't pay salaries for sometimes. That was that thing really touched me. Yeah, people can go to financial, but sometimes you're able to explain why this is going on for now, right? And let people understand it, not that. And it has become a trend. We have radio stations that are not paid their salaries or staff for the last 6-7 months, and they're still balling. I don't understand how you do it. You ball, and you cannot even pay the people who bring money to your table. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why radio has been disrespected sometimes, because some people have sold their birthright. That's why.
Okay.
So, but before I go into it, I just want to ask you very quickly. I mean, I know there's some interviews you've had. I don't want to tell you about. I don't want you to tell me about the horrible ones, but the ones that deep inside you loved. Not because they're your friends or not because you know them, but you love their craft, that you put all your heart in it. Who are those people?
I think Mr. Easy gives really fantastic interviews.
Yeah.
Because I think the key to having a good interview, I would say, is just being honest and being yourself. It just makes things easier.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people come in guarded, and you shouldn't have to be. The point of an interview is somebody getting to know who you are. And I think that the more genuine you are as a person, the more you attract people towards you. I think people just like genuine people. Mr. Easy is very, very intelligent. He's very inspiring. He inspires me on a daily basis because he's just very smart. He's very smart. Everything about him is very calculated, He treats his music and his brand as something more than it is. So he's very purposeful with everything.
That's
so
good.
I think Mr. Easy gives fantastic interviews. I think, I'm sure that interview.
For me, it will be Bank W.
Yeah.
Now I had really funny ones. The funny ones, I think we had that. They will only come to the interview and just crack you up for money till night. They're probably not going to say anything.
Yeah, some cases like
some
that.
case. Dammy Crane.
Like that. Dammy
Crane will probably hug
like
everybody in there. Daddy me, mommy me. They ask him a question, he will just switch. And another guy that actually cracks it and never really, he won't even answer the question. He'll just be like, Shantizu, shout out to him,
Shantizu was another person that, Shole Kole.
Yeah,
that was
Shole.
on that radio.
We don't even need to talk about Shantizu. Talk about D-Tunes. Because D-Tunes will be it will bug your life.
Yes.
But he was very purposeful as well. So
even Tenny was a product of radio.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was.
But people I like the interviews, Banky. I think I find the people I mentioned, Shantizo, I find them intriguing. My interview with someone that I think we never really gone well like that. is because, sometimes the thing would be the families comes in the band.
Okay.
I think he's even on YouTube. We're good, but on radio, it just feels like he's just a different guy. So we
Yeah.
never get along on radio,
Yeah.
So I think I just stopped interviewing the guy because I think one of my questions I asked him when I said, do you think you're one of the most bankable artists in Nigeria? It's a great question, and my nigga just took it the other way around. But, I understand that.
Yeah, there's some people, that's because a lot of people are on guard. Peruzzi as well. I think that was not a very good interview because he just completely misconstrued whatever I was saying. And sometimes people come in thinking you're just going to destroy them.
Nah.
Just chill off.
Just chill off.
The best interviews are the interviews that you're just chilled. And you're just having a good time.
Great time.
It's just a good time.
Am I? Ice Prince is another great guy. I mean, I interviewed Ice Prince, great guy. Olamide is cool. Olamide, he picks his answers, he picks his answers. But people that I know, they really speak intelligently. I'll be honest with you, Banky W.
Yeah.
Banky's own is, if he comes on your radio show, be prepared because it's about to steal the show.
Yeah.
Have your questions ready, be smart because the thing is, he has... another fun guy. I think another fun interview I loved was not the fact that he was fun on the radio, it's the entrance that got me. Davido came in, drove around and packed, and he came with
has a big entourage.
Wow!
Like so
and
many
everybody,
people.
I know one thing he said, everybody must be
there.
We're all
there was
in the
Peruzzi, there was
studio.
the West, there was just everyone.
I think another guy was really scared of. I'll be honest. My interview, I think I didn't really like. Not because it wasn't great. I think I was scared of Skepta.
Oh, Skepta was fun.
Yeah. But wait, he came in not smiling, man. But he's actually a really cool guy. When he came in, I was like, this guy's not smiling. I know he has this bad boy, but he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, we've done quite a lot of international interviews. I loved Cranium. I loved Cardi B.
Yeah.
I loved Salt and Pepper. They were really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
There were a lot of guys. We've interviewed. Chris Air, the dweller, Chris Air. With is it Whitfield? This lady, she was the woman in with
Lynn Whitfield. Yeah.
Lynn Whitfield. That she acted with Martin Lawrence. Yeah. And everybody hits Chris, the mum.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she was on the show too.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Hakeem K. Kazim was a delight, fantastic guy. NSG, I had so much fun with NSG. We've done things.
You know what? Let's stop bragging right now. So, but the fact is, the good thing is, we just want to say this is a lot more. This is just a part one. If we have to sit down here, we'll talk for hours about where radio done. We're talking about even the international charts we bring in, like the Rick D's. Some of the songs you probably never even heard before. You hear them break on a chart like that. So we got to respect that. For me, I think we all can cohabit. We can all have a great relationship. And whether you like it or not, radio is very powerful. Not just radio, the people who speak about it. The people who are the gatekeepers are way more powerful as well because it can influence a lot of things.
Yes. Radio is still great, guys. This was so much fun.
Yeah, so
we didn't think
shout out to you guys. You can watch it. Fine. You click.
Clout, reach out. Reach out.
Just post. If you like, post. If you like, don't post. No, but actually post. But the only thing is, like I said, like it. You guys have a lot to say.
Like it, comment, and you can finish us in the comment. Well, I used
good.
to it at this point, to be honest.
That's the thing, thick skin.
Well,
you know what that means.
Oh, shout out to all OAPs across board.
Everybody.
Shout out to all of you. Shout out to the Instagram radio accounts. Radiocast,
Media Guide.
Those ones are
shout
the
out to all
ones.
of
Shout
them.
out to you guys for putting us on, because I think those are the ones that actually they're riding fast. So shout out to you guys, and shout out to all the OAPs. We love you all. Stay safe.
Clout. Peace.
Clout, we out.